Celebs are a unique breed of people, wouldn't you say? Sure, they could make their own smoothies, and they could choose their own outfits and dress themselves, but that requires way too much effort. With enough money to fill the Pacific Ocean 3 times over, these A-listers have become the ultimate experts in the art of delegation, ordering their assistants to do whatever they darn well please. Would you unclog LeBron James' toilet if he asked you to? What if he paid you $100? The jury's still out on that one. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump straight in and look into all the wacky, sometimes wonderful, but mostly just weird things that the world's top 1% make their minions do for them. Actually, on second thought, we can't really be bothered doing this video at all, so we'll just get Billy, the new intern, to finish it off instead. Meanwhile, we'll be kicking back on the beach in the Bahamas, sipping on a pina colada. Later, Gators.
Hey guys, I'm Billy, and this is a song about, wait, can I start again? Hi, I'm Billy, and this is a celebrity video about the most richest, money.
Okay, Billy, we'll take it back over. Okay, we're back. Sorry, folks. That's why if you want something done right, you usually have to do it yourself. We'll save the pina colada for later. Alright, so kicking it off is none other than the Oscar-winning actress and uber-famous artist, Lady Gaga. It's fair to say that she's definitely more free-spirited than a lot of the most famous faces out there. As you can probably tell by all the crazy outfits, ever-changing hairstyles, and the time she rocked up to an award show in a dress made of raw beef. So yeah, quirky gal to say the least. Anyway, apparently back in 2013, she took her free-spirited share the love approach a little too far. She actually was sued by her former personal assistant, Jennifer O'Neill, who made allegations that the Hollywood star asked her to share a bed with her. No hanky-panky, all G-rated business, but apparently our leading lady just doesn't like to sleep alone, valuing the company of another human alongside her. Who would have been most likely to be like, "Sure thing, Lady Gaga, your majesty," than the woman who's paid to do, well, pretty much whatever Gaga says. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cuddlers, and solo thrivers, if anyone's in the market for a spot alongside Lady Gaga in what's probably a 15,000 thread count Egyptian cotton gold infused bed, send her your resumes. Next up is a dude who might not be as famous as Lady Gaga to the general population, but the things that he makes his assistants do are just as ridiculous, if not more so. We're talking about the entrepreneur Larry Ellison, who's the co-founder of the Oracle Corporation and is worth a sneaky $50 billion, give or take. Not only is he a business whiz, but he's also a massive fan of basketball. In fact, we wouldn't be surprised if he'd be willing to unclog LeBron's toilet just for the sake of meeting him. But who are we kidding? If he's that rich, he's probably already met him a million times anyways. Alright, so anyways, as a basketball fan, Ellison installed half a court in his private yacht because of course he has a freaking private yacht, so that he can play whenever, wherever, and however he wants. Here's the issue though, if he airballs a shot or two, you better believe that it's going straight into the ocean. So what does he do? He actually pays someone, like a human person, to follow the yacht on a speedboat and retrieve any balls that fall into the ocean. If that's not ridiculous, then we don't know what is. Hey Billy, this coffee's cold. What are you waiting for, man? Thanks for joining us, Larry, but your time's up. Generally, music artists, particularly rappers, have always been a little eccentric in a sense, not afraid to sport some statement-making fashions and put out lyrics that cause a bit of a stir. One rapper in particular, however, takes this over-the-top mentality and smooshes it together with his assistant's list of responsibilities. The task in question? Well, back in the early 2000s when Game Boys were all the rage and anyone who was anyone was playing them, this artist, true story, had an assistant follow him around whose job was to carry spare batteries and replace them in the Game Boy whenever necessary. Yep, we know that it sounds pretty ludicrous, but well, since the rapper in question was none other than Ludacris himself, maybe it starts to make a little more sense. Seriously though, there's nothing worse than having your electronics conk out, so we definitely see where he was coming from with this obscure demand. From the world of music, we're switching over to the world of cinema. Get yourself out of bed, chug down a coffee, put some funky socks on, and say hello to Mark Wahlberg. How many alarms did you have to set today to wake up? How many times did you click snooze before hurling your phone at the wall at terminal velocity because it wouldn't stop yelling at you? Well, apparently for Mr. Famous Hollywood man Mark Wahlberg, no amount of alarms is enough to actually get him out of bed. So what does he do? Yep, you guessed it. He pays someone else to make sure he gets up every day at the crack of dawn, rain, hail, or shine. We'll never know exactly how the assistant does it. In fact, it's probably just a subtle shoulder shake or softly spoken, "Mark, it's time to start the day." But we absolutely love the image of an ice cold bucket of water being thrown on top of him while he sleeps in his super cool race car bed. We get it, Mark, you're a busy man. Sometimes you gotta wake up at 3:30 a.m. to start shooting a movie. And we know you got your own burger company as well. Clever name, by the way, Wahlburgers. But come on, we can all wake up on our own. Why can't you? Why not just get one of those alarm floor mats that you have to physically stand on, or one of those clocks on wheels that you have to chase down? Making another person do it just seems a teeny tiny bit unnecessary. While we're on the topic of unnecessary, our next famous person's delegation intentions are exactly that. Angelina Jolie has always been in the spotlight thanks to her starring roles in countless films over the years. More recently, however, she dove into the world of directing. Now, we're no governing expert on the world of giving and taking feedback, but it seems like a pretty fair statement to make that when trying out something new, you'd like people to be honest and provide constructive criticism so that you can improve in the future, right? That's not too far-fetched, is it? Well, apparently for Angelina, it is. When she made her directing debut with a film called By the Sea, it was a bit of a flop, to be honest. So what did she do? She waited until it came out on DVD, gave a copy to every one of her assistants, and made them watch it. But here's the kicker. They were only allowed to give her positive feedback. No constructive criticism, no tips on anything to improve. She just wanted a massive ego boost. From one famous name to another, you didn't think that any list of celebrities making assistants do odd things for them would be complete without at least a little chatter about the Kardashian sisters, did you? For anyone who's ever seen the reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it should come as no surprise to learn that they absolutely freaking love their four-legged furry friends. Cats, puppies, dogs, kittens, unicorns, Sasquatches, it doesn't matter. If it's furry and friendly, they'll take it in. The thing is though, they're pretty terrible pet owners. They never do the dirty work, and why would they when they can simply pay someone else to do it? And they would not be caught dead scooping up their pet's business from a litter box or picking up anything when strolling around the block. Who has to clean it all up? You guessed it, the personal assistants, baby. It seems a little unfair that they get all the good parts of being a pet owner without the responsibility, but hey, that's the life of being rich and famous. Sadly, the Kardashians often get bored with their pets as well, meaning their assistants also have to find new homes for them from time to time. I mean, come on, peeps, that's not cool. Anyway, moving on to something a little more lighthearted. While the Kardashians probably think that they're royalty, our next subject actually is. We're talking about good old Prince Charles, who's taken his level of delegation to a whole new level. Excessive? Absolutely. Hilarious? Definitely. As part of the royal family, appearances of the utmost importance. They're always in the public eye, so each suit, each tie, and each undone shoelace is heavily scrutinized. So not only does Prince Charles have one dedicated person to help him choose his outfits, but he actually has an entire squad of personal dressers. Considering that he's been labeled a bit of a style icon over the years, we'd be lying if we said we didn't feel just a little bit robbed by the whole thing. He's not the only one to have some weird fashion requests either. Kanye West forces all of his personal drivers to wear only cotton-based clothing. Nelly has a special jewelry caregiver travel around with him all the time to make sure his bling stays safe and secure. And P. Diddy used to have an assistant hold an umbrella for him wherever it was raining. Anyway, from actual royalty to old school music royalty, next up is the one and only Frank Sinatra. A dude by the name of George Jacobs was working for the great man from 1953 to 1968 and let the whole world know about what a crazy guy Sinatra actually was when he published a book in 2003 called Mr. S, My Life with Frank Sinatra. Jacobs said that when Sinatra started to lose his hair, Frank actually made him spray cover up the bald spot on his head. And that's not even the half of it. Apparently Sinatra also made his assistant buy him special underwear and handle all the transaction with, well, let's just call him his professional nighttime longtime friends. You see, even in the old days, assistants were doing all kinds of weird stuff. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we've saved perhaps what's the best until last. If that delicious roast in the oven is starting to burn, leave it. Just make your assistant deal with it. Okay, so in what is the weirdest celeb assistant confession we've heard thus far? Say hello to the cat whisperer. That's right. When being interviewed by Forbes in 2009, an executive producer of a major national news show came forward with this. Her boss asked her to hold conversations with his cats. Conversations with cats. That's odd enough in its own right, but it was actually much more bizarre and complex than just feline small talk. She said that she was given a precise script to follow with particular questions to ask, and was supposed to note down how the little furry friends responded and report back to her boss with all observations. Well, isn't that just perfect? That's all for some of the ridiculous things celebrities have made assistants do for them. Would you take the job of cat whisperer if your boss told you to? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and join our notification squad. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.